Hello, I'm Cassie and welcome to today's interview. I'm talking to Kirsty Bonner. Welcome, Kirsty.
Hi, thanks for having me.
That's a pleasure. So Kirsty's the founder of Smart Chicks. She's been in business for over 12 years and has been really coaching and supporting women in business and in life. And she's really passionate about helping and supporting people to really live their life's purpose.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So today we're specifically talking about gratitude and how important it can be in our lives and how profound the practice of gratitude in our daily lives can be on our mental and physical health and well-being. So Kirsty, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with gratitude and why you're so passionate about helping people understand what it means to be grateful? We can throw that term around a lot,
Yes.
but what it actually means, how it acts in our body, and the practice of that. So,
Absolutely. Look, I think that, when we look at being grateful or appreciative or thankful, I think that even going beyond grateful, and because sometimes that, like you said, it's a term that's thrown around all the time. And I know that even for my own kids, it's gotten to a point of them being like, yeah, okay, I know. And so it can be a tricky one for them to really understand. But at the core of it, it's really just about appreciating and being thankful for what we have and what we're looking at. And I think fundamentally for us, physiologically, we have the reticular activating system at the base of our skull, at the top of the spine, which really acts as a filter to all of the messages and everything we've got coming in. And so what we actually focus on is what will expand in our life. And, when you think about, say, you're at a party and, you're having a conversation and something's happening over the side, if something's happening in a conversation on the side that's something that is relevant to your life, like I had this happen to me, where they were asking me about a certain song. They were trying to work out a song. And that day, my daughter and I had been talking about it. And so that came into my sphere of, what I was hearing. And I could actually hear that, stop the conversation, answer this over here, and then come back and keep going. And the reason for that is my reticular was actually activated to let that sort of come in. And the same thing happens for us with what we're focusing on in our daily life, and particularly if we're going through some tough times.
yeah.
Really about looking and making sure that we're looking at things in a way that we are going to be able to move forward with and in a positive way. And funnily enough, sometimes even definitely negative things that happen in our life are actually positives and are there for us, but we have to be open to realizing and recognizing that.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done, and it is really a practice, isn't it? It's something that doesn't necessarily come naturally for us or to us at all. Now, you can throw around the word gratitude or mindfulness even, that's kind of something that's been popular and coming in more and more in our awareness. And I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday who said, I don't like to call it gratitude, I like to call it savouring. Right? So really savouring and focusing on that one particular thing. Now, perhaps some people might argue, okay, I'm going through a crisis. I'm in crisis right now. The person that I'm caring for is really not well. I can't see the light. How can they, find positives, or what can they do to try and just relax and just focus on something that is positive when there's so much chaos and unknown going on?
Yeah. Well, in my experience, a lot of people that even go through really dark times or difficult times, when they look back on them, they're actually able to look back with perspective. But obviously when you're going through it, you don't have that then. You're living what it is right then.
Yeah.
And, even the practice of mindfulness is a great way to ground yourself, to get out to the earth, get out and walk on the grass, shoes off, take the opportunity to really stop and focus. And no matter what it is that's going on that's negative, there's always going to be things that you can be really grateful for in that moment that's bad. And it might be I'm so grateful that, you know, we have the doctors that we have. I'm just so grateful of the, you know, it gives me goosebumps even just saying it, you know, like it affects us on an emotional level. So all of the crap that's happening, you know, even within that, there are so many things besides all the good things that are happening in our life. Even in the bad things, there's just things that we've got to stop. And we know we can't control sometimes everything or what's happening as much as we would like to. You can only under control what you can in that moment. Give the opportunity to those that are able to control things outside of your reach. Give them permission to do that, trust, you know, and that's hard.
Yeah, it is hard, but it's definitely the advice that I give quite often to people, you know, control the controllable, because otherwise it's, you know, push meets resistance, and it just can manifest into more overwhelm, more chaos, and, you know, more emotional trauma, if you like. So
sometimes that's literally just from taking it one step at a time, because it's so easy to look further ahead and go, oh my, what's this? What can I do right now? Like, what's the most important thing for me to do right now in this moment for my child, for my partner, for the person I'm caring for, so that, you know, I'm looked after, that I'm going to be okay, and that they know that I'm here, or that, you know, because that's the most important thing right there and then.
Absolutely. So when I like to stop and just, when I'm delivered some either bad news or I'm faced with something that's really confronting, I just like to really focus on my breathing and just really trying to regulate that, because otherwise the anxiety can really build up quite quickly and I'm not able to make decisions and that sort of thing. But it's also when you're in that kind of situation, taking those few deep breaths and then being able to focus on something that you're grateful for, or what have you, can really have positive effects on your ability to cope and to deal with the situation. Is that what you found?
Yeah, definitely. And exactly like you said, it is a habit. So it's something that you have to try and get yourself used to doing in tiny snippets, like never try and change too much at once. You know, it's like get into a habit of a small thing, and over time you may find that, you know, journaling every night is something that actually helps you, but you can't go straight to journaling every night. Like that's way too much too soon, and then you won't feel the benefit, because, you know, within a week or a month or whatever, you'll just be like, oh, and then
it's too much
days, then you've failed, and so then you don't keep going at all.
Yeah, and this is the thing with change, right? Is that, you know, everyone wants to change everything all at once, and so you might, you know, you had the absolute best intentions, and you get, you know, say 2 or 3 weeks down the track, 4 at most, and then you lose everything because it's just too hard and too overwhelming. So then you make that mean that you're a failure, and then you go into this downward spiral. So you've given us, for our challenge, you've given us some 7 key challenges for our week. So can you explain some more about those? So number 1, you've got here past triumphs.
Yeah. So what I thought I would do is actually put together, instead of, because even being grateful or thankful, whatever, can be overwhelming, because it's like saying to a child, okay, go and write a story. And they go, okay, what shall I write about? And you go,
yes,
anything. And they go, I can't think of anything. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
great example.
So let's break down, you know, being grateful, and just give you kind of 7 little key areas. Now, as a whole, it's sort of the same thing, but if I give you something you can focus on each day, then, you know, it's even easier for you to go, right, this is sort of today. So the first is, looking at past triumphs, or things that you've done in your life that you're proud of. And you could start with 3, you could do 10, but I'd really encourage you in the morning or after dinner or before you go to bed to actually stop and think about, what have I done that has gotten me to where I am, that has been, you know, really great, that I'm grateful for. And sometimes we actually don't even take the time to look back at our past achievements. So day 1 is, look at your past triumphs and yeah, just be really grateful for them. And
because we all have them, right? We all have past triumphs, and beautiful. I love it. I love that one to start with. So number 2, you've got feel the appreciation of the day with music.
Yes. So music's so great for lifting our vibration, lifting our spirit, lifting the joy, and you know, we can literally take that time to not even have to focus on a particular thing, but just really enjoy the moment and appreciate the day. So it's whether it's while you're cooking dinner, whether it's, you know, after dinner with the family, like get the kids involved, you know, whatever it is. If you're in the car going somewhere, put the radio or some music on and put up really loud and just listen to, you know, on the weekend I was away with a girlfriend and we put the music on while we're kind of going around and just having like just feel
I do it.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, it really is, especially with dinner. And you know, I even did it this morning in the car on the way to dropping the boys off at school, and a song came on and Josh started singing, so I turned it up and we're both singing, and it was great. And it was a great way for them to walk into the school with a really positive attitude, because, you know, yesterday was a tough day for him. So for him to be able to be uplifted before he walked into school, it's profound. It can entirely change the whole day.
Yeah, music has the power of transformation. So in a minute, like in the length of a song, it can really change everything. Like really raise the vibration, which is great.
Love it, love it, love it. So the next one, number 3, is thank you for the little things.
Yeah.
Thank you for the little things. Talk to us about that.
Well, you know, don't miss out on the miracle by waiting for the big boom. Okay, so you have to be appreciative of, wow, I'm so grateful the water comes out of our tap today, that I can get water straight from the tap. You know, I'm so great. Like as you get up, wow, like we bought a mattress. It was delivered yesterday. I got out of bed and went, man, that's the best sleep I've had in ages. You know, I'm so grateful for the new mattress. You know, grateful I've got clothes on my back. Really just be grateful like a crazy person for every little single things. And you're not going to live every day doing that. But if for 24 hours or 18 hours, the waking day for that day that you have, imagine how it can help you to just focus on every little thing you can do. I mean, you kind of can't help but have a smile on your face when you're walking around for the day, because you really open your reticular to be going, wow, I'm glad that it's not raining, or I'm glad that I brought my umbrella, or I'm glad I'm not made of sugar and I'm not going to dissolve. Drenched, whatever's happening for the day.
Yeah, and you know, that's a great reminder, because we do have so much big stuff to deal with. Just drilling down to the simple things is beautiful. I love it. So thank you for the struggles.
Yeah. Well,
tell me.
It's an interesting one, but so many times, so much triumph comes out of the struggles. I mean, even for you guys that, you know, are really struggling with maybe going through a period where the kids or your partner or whoever you're caring for is unwell, you've become probably a more caring person, a more giving person. You've developed and grown in a completely different way, because that is what you're dealing with. And even look, in a community like this, the people that you can now serve and help, and the way you can actually relate and connect with them, purely because of those struggles. So as difficult as it can seem, you actually have to be grateful for some of the big challenges that you maybe had in your life. And it may not even be in that caring space. It may be a divorce. It may be bullying as a kid. It might be, you know, parents that were really strict, that at the time you thought it was hard. Everything's shaped us to where we are now. So I want you to really look at, you know, at least 2 or 3 things that maybe, you know, from one perspective could seem really negative, but they're actually something that you need to thank.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And
almost forgive them. You almost have to kind of forgive them for occurring, because forgiving and accepting them is a big part of really growing and
growth. Yeah. Growth and character building, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. I certainly wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now had I not had the experiences and some of the trauma that perhaps we've been through, whether that's to do with my caring role or not. And then, you know, being able to help other people with those same things, or, you know, advocate for people who perhaps don't have a voice or what have you. It's as hard as it is to be able to try and focus on the lessons that you've learned, can be really quite cathartic, I think, you know, rather than looking back in, you know, with anger or, you know, with anxiety or what have you. So I think it's a beautiful one. So thank you. So we're nearly there. So we're talking next about the 3 biggest things that you're proud of.
Yeah, well, this is kind of great because it's converse to that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are the biggest achievements that you've had or that you've done, or that, you know, that you can say with a smile on your face? And how much have you really taken time to be grateful for them? And to realize, yeah, that's exactly right. We have to do that, you know, through life, where, we forget about sometimes how far we've come and things we've overcome and how, you know, how much we've grown in the process. But just, looking at the big things that were really positive things, but how grateful you are that they've happened. And you know what? Some of them might almost be the worst things that has happened. It might actually follow on with, you know, some of the things that you're most proud of.
Yeah.
We business very much because a lot of people are creating incredible businesses that have come out of the most tragic or, you know, diverse but bad circumstances that are the worst times in their life, but they've actually enabled the most incredible and amazing things in their life.
Absolutely. And when you look at it, whether it's business or whether it's someone in life, you know, striving to achieve something, we never ever get there on a smooth upward slope, do we? No. There's always ebbs and flows and ebbs and flows. And you kind of almost go to the bottom before you can get up to the top, you know. So perfect. Really.
Sometimes 3 steps forward and 1 step back, and sometimes you come back further than you went forward the last time. You actually were in negative growth. But
and the people in this community would probably relate to that quite well, because, you know, they have to be persistent and consistent, and my internet's frozen.
Yeah, no, that's right. Sorry, I had a call that just quickly tried to come in. So
that's okay. But yeah, so that's a really good one, is really flipping things and appreciating things, or celebrating what we don't always do. So now we're looking at focusing on family and friends and supporters and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Now this one's, can you see me okay?
No, you're frozen. Perhaps turn your video off and then turn it back on.
Yeah, I might do that. Yeah. Hang on. Let's see if it comes back on now. Oh, turning off. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Fixed.
Internet. I might get another call.
Technology for you.
I know. Family. I mean, look, I think today is just a good day for you to actually reach out and say how grateful you are to the people that are your family or friends or supporters. And it can be all of those. Some people don't have a close family, and it's really friends or supporters that are their family. But just take time out today to even reach out to 3 people and just let them know how much you appreciate them. I mean, sometimes it's even our partners we forget to let them know how much we appreciate them. So it's a really good time to just stop and think and be grateful for those people close to you and letting them know.
Yeah, absolutely. Last week I had a little wobble, and my son's been in the hospital for quite some time, and I got myself up and I was really tired, and this is when things can kind of come undone, isn't it? When we're tired and we're a bit emotional and that sort of thing. And my husband rang me as I was heading on into the hospital, and he said, "How are you?" Worst question you could ask. And you know, I hadn't heard from, you know, close family and friends who I had really, you know, wanted to hear from, but people worry that you're too busy or they don't want to bother you or whatever. So there's definitely, you know, a communication thing there. But I was feeling sad and sorry for myself for the people who were close to me that I didn't perceive were there. But on the flip side of it, there are a range of people who I've either met in person or online, who followed up after I got off the phone to him, and he was beautiful. He, you know, just listened to me and made things happen. But then there were all these other people who had contacted me, and I was grateful for that, you know, and I did I kind of acknowledged that afterwards. I went, oh, you know what, I'm actually okay, and I'm lucky that I've got these connections.
People often change, like, you know, at different times in your life, it can be different people that at that moment kind of know exactly what's happening, enough to know to come back and go, how's it going, whatever.
Yeah.
And we feel sometimes we haven't actually kept them up to date with a lot of stuff, like family, for example. How do they know that you know, that it might be time to...
Are they mind readers?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And that support can come in all shapes and sizes and forms. It doesn't have to be a phone call. It doesn't have to be a message. It can be in a range of different ways. And I think, doing exactly what you've said is, and acknowledging the support that you do have, whatever form that comes in, whether it's in a Facebook group or a mum's group or, you know, a carer support program or whatever. That still supports. So, and
they might even want to get a small gift or something, because sometimes getting something out of the blue that just shows, you know, how much you appreciate them, when actually everything is kind of okay.
Beautiful.
You're in a space where everything's actually quite good. Just randomly letting people know how much you appreciate when, you know, like it's... And
like you said, that raises everyone's vibration then too, doesn't it?
You feel good about it. They realise that you really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, lucky last, grateful like you're on holidays.
Yeah, I love this one.
So we're not on holidays, we're grateful like we're on holidays.
Yes. So you think about it, when you go away from the mundane, from the chores, from the washing, from the putting away, from the renovations, from the, you know, looking after people, or all of the things that we've got on that are just kind of the daily grind, when we're on holidays, it's like everything changes. We look through different filters, so we're coming from a different perspective, and we just feel so much more relaxed, and we
even breathe differently.
Yeah. So on day 7, try to live like you're on holidays. Think like you're on holidays. Be grateful like you're on holidays. And because, you know, what we're thinking, or the way we have control over how we feel.
Oh, you've gone then.
Yeah, that must be...
We have control over how we feel.
Yes, so we have control over how we feel. And so, you know, we just have to make a point of making sure that we really look at that. And that's what we're really doing every day. And like I said, it's just about breaking it down, you know, to different areas that we can kind of focus on, just to help you to kind of get into the habit.
Yeah. And it's really about interrupting the hard and the stressful and the negative kinds of activity that can go on in our brain. And it can be enough just to completely 180 the way that we're going, you know, whether we're feeling bad or down or, you know, really lost, just focusing on some of those things, any of those things that you've mentioned, is really a great interrupter for our thought processes and patterns.
Great pattern interrupt, absolutely.
I think music's my personal favourite.
Yeah, me too.
No, and laughter, like just laughing at silly stuff is as well. I know it's not technically, you know, gratitude and that sort of thing, but you know, you can't beat it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I mean, really, all of them you could always involve your family in doing as well. But music's the easiest one to, even on that day, just involve everybody regardless. So
yeah. Exactly. Thank you so much for participating. Is there anything else you wanted to mention? You've covered a lot, so really appreciate it.
Just you know, take this bite size, and then when you move forward, even if you just, you know, even if you do start to get into the practice of writing every now and again, like it is very powerful, moving words from your head onto the page. And sometimes just free writing is really powerful. Like even if you're stressed and you're not specifically doing something to be grateful, but you're wanting to just sort of move that. If you just free write and whatever comes in your head, it can be a really great way to help sort of shift it and just change, you know, what you're feeling at that time. So, but yeah, just try and get into the habit of looking at all the little things.
Awesome, thank you. So tell us where we can find you if people want to seek you out, not necessarily stalk you, but seek you out or work with you. Perhaps we've got people who are in business or are, you know, looking for some personal coaching and that sort of thing. Where can we find you?
Well, they can contact me just through Smart Chicks. So there's the Facebook page as well as the Smart Chicks Coterie, which is the group. You can, personal message me on Facebook as well. So.
Okay. I'll put the links up to the Smart Chicks page and the Coterie as well for people who are interested. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here and you have a wonderful week.
Yeah, same to you. Thanks, guys. Bye.